Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're all doing well as I always do. As you can hear, my voice is still a little bit croaky from Sunday's game. Lots of shouting. If you haven't already done so, go check out the full-time thoughts video for that. But basically, guys, this is the video that I said I would do when I did the reaction to Soufal signing a new 3-year contract. There was a lot of bullshit that has come out from David Sullivan over the last few years, but what he said the other day when the PAI capital takeover broke down, he said that the club are £150 million in debt. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. You can try and smooch us and say in the 6 years it's taken 6-7 years it's taken us to move to the London Stadium because we were about £120 million in debt at that point. It really isn't. It's a lot worse than he's making out. And the reason why he's saying that is because it's still intentional that he wants to sell the club at some point. I know he will, because otherwise he would have reported exactly what I'm going to be telling you. And as I previously told you when we did the reactions to the accounts that went up in February for the 1920 season. Before I do that, I want to talk about Hammers United, because obviously before the Brentford game there was a peaceful protest. Now, depending on the reports that you're seeing, some are saying that there's 400, some are saying it was 150 according to the Met report. Some people are saying there was about 250 people, an eye view witness. Some people are saying there were 50. So as I wasn't able to do it because I slept in too late, unfortunately, I can't really comment on that. It's a shame, but you know, sometimes life happens. It was over 2,000, 3,000 people with the one just before lockdown. Right, so it kind of shows to me, personally, my interpretation of it is the fact that the people that were protesting alongside me and everybody else for the previous two protests were there because the football wasn't good enough. That's not what GSBOUT is all about. It really, really isn't. What GSBOUT isn't just about the fact that we moved to the London Stadium without anybody's consent, well, the fan base's consent, I should say. It's also nothing to do with the fact that they chose the badge we didn't vote for when we were able to vote for it. It's got nothing to do. It's bigger than the seats not being as close to the pitch as they were at the Bowling or Upton Park, depending on your point of view. It's way more systemic than that now. It really is huger than that. It's got nothing to do with the way that the team has been performing either. It's nothing. I've said it many, many times. The two are totally separate things. I could not be more proud of how West Ham are playing at the moment, bar the Brentford performance, but that's in isolation. You know, under both of David Moyes' tenures, he did nothing wrong, and he is still doing nothing wrong. Okay, what my issue with it is many, many things. It's not just the cliches that everybody is saying. Paul Colburn, aka Bubbles, put up a very, very good video on their Facebook group about the reasons why people are GSB out. Much bigger than the bullshit of 5-6 years ago. Much, much bigger than that. Okay? For me, will always be GSB out because of one or the following, and in fact all of them really. The fact that I lost all my away points a few seasons ago. I've now been able to get that back to double digits. It's taken me a long time and a lot of cup games, and I wasn't able to buy any away tickets whatsoever. I've been able to go to away tickets through friends, but that's it up until now. Yeah, the fact that when we were at the reservation centre, for one, there was 8 of us that all sat together, and it was up until the season before lockdown. Yeah, we were told that with the seats being moved forward, which is a very, very good thing to do. They did say they were going to try and replicate the Bowling as quickly as possible. Everybody seems to forget that West Ham doesn't own the London Stadium. We're just renting it. We have no say whatsoever in how the layout is, how things are run, etc., etc. We have a few little concessions here and there, but in general, we have no real saying on how things go. We really don't have a say on how things go. So this is why GSB out is always going to be a thing until the club is sold by them. The anger is mostly focused at David Sullivan. There's a little bit of bullshit coming out from David Gold, which swipe under the under the carpet, because at the end of the day, guys, he's Uncle West Ham for a lot of us. He just doesn't know what he's saying. We know that, and likewise with Karen Brady, the complete hypocrite in terms of how she approaches herself on The Apprentice, and in comparison to how she's helping or not helping, as the case may be, run West Ham United. For me, as I said, it's bearing in mind that when the movement of the seats was brought forward, we said the letter said we will try and keep everybody together, and I thought to myself, okay, well, there's only 8 of us together. It's not really going to be that huge of a thing. There's only 3 of us now together. There's a couple of people that I was with the group who are a few seats down. They were right behind me 2 seasons ago. There's another guy who came through who was a good friend of ours. Again, only a few seats over. No clue where he is whatsoever. It doesn't look like he's even in the same block, much less in the same rows. And obviously, there are a couple of guys that didn't renew their season ticket and then renewed it at another time and got us, slightly cheaper view, which is fine. No issue with that. What I take issue with is all this bullshit that we've been promised time after time. Simple, tiny little administration things that could be easily done, and it's all screwed. A lot of people are getting angry about these e-tickets. This isn't a West Ham thing. This is how single-minded the club fan base is. For these people, put it up on Knees Up Mother Brown's Facebook group the other week. Really don't think a lot of people that say they're West Ham supporters understand what West Ham is, understand what modern football is. And you don't have to be lover of modern football. I don't like modern football. E-tickets makes a good idea. It's a very, very good idea. It's just been put in badly, as it always is. If you watch the Fever Pitch programme about the birth of the Premier League, so many mistakes, but we just got used to it. Sunday football, got used to it. Friday night football, got used to it. Monday night football, got used to it. Wednesday night football, got used to it. And this is the problem. It's just the fact that the bigger picture is here with this GSBOUT movement is down to the fact that it's how the club is run. It's got nothing to do with the pitch whatsoever. It's got nothing to do with David Moyes or any of the players. Just because we're playing decent football doesn't mean we're happy about the way the club is run. It's bigger than subpar training facilities. It's bigger than a next to nothing scouting network. It's bigger than e-tickets. It's bigger than popcorn at the London Stadium. It's bigger than buying a foot long and a couple of litres of drink and spending 12, 13 quid. It's bigger than that. It's massive. It's about everything and how badly the club is being run. You guys know me well enough, for those returning people that have been watching this channel for the last few years. You know that I will always criticise when somebody makes a mistake, and I will always praise when somebody does something right. I've praised the Gold Sullivan and Brady for certain things, what they've done, especially for the fan base during lockdown. It was a great thing. I haven't mentioned this yet, but it was a great thing to have a replica, brand new stadium the Martin Peters, Bobby Moore, the new sculpture that's outside the ground. It was lovely, the fact that Martin Peters has been laid to rest at the London Stadium. Those things I find happy with, very, very happy with those things. Yeah, a long time coming, especially for the statue, that's for sure. What I do take umbrage with is everything else that they're doing. Even Mike Ashley, the most hated Premier League owner in football history, isn't taking money out of the club every season. Sullivan and Gold are. We say we're out. This is why we're 150 million pounds in debt, allegedly, because 30 million of that is coming out of their pockets once every few years. Going into their pockets, I should say, coming out of the club's pockets every 2 or 3 years. Seriously, they are taking on average about 3 to 4 million pound. And over the last 10 years, that means they've taken a good 16, 17 million pound out of the club that could have been invested into the transfer window, that could have been invested into the scouting network, that could have been invested into the training facilities. Yeah, All right, they tried it with Pellegrini, gave him a shitload of cash, and all he brought in was players that just wanted the money, didn't really want to play. With the exception of nope, there isn't any. I was going to say, I'm trying to think of anybody. With the exception of Diop, which apparently was a David Sullivan signing anyway. Nobody else really in that side was a Pellegrini signing, bar basically Fornals. That's about it. Everybody else has been there for a long, long time. Technically, Souček was. Technically, a few other players here and there. But in general, it's not a Pellegrini side anymore. It's a Moyes' side. It's his players. And I'm loving that fact. But okay, so going back to the crooks, I'm waffling a little bit now. In the 2008-2009 season, we suffered a loss of £55.4 million. In the 2009-10 season, £33.5 million loss. 10-11 season, £41.6 million. 11-12 season, £70.7 million. 12-13 season, £77.4 million loss. 13-14 season, £73.5 million loss. 14-15, £66.6 million loss. 15-16 season, £66.8 million loss. 16-17 season, £45.5 million loss. 17-18 season, £34.5 million loss. 18-19 season, £65.7 million, which means over that 10-year period we lost £631.2 million. That's more money than Barcelona owe. In the 18-19 season, the profit and loss report, which basically sums up everything about how much you're making, how much you're spending, £167.3 million. The 19-20 season, as we discussed a few months ago, same profit and loss report, said £232.3 million loss, which is exactly right, because the difference of 167.3 and £232.3 million is, give or take a few quid, £65.7 million. Where on earth is David Sullivan's getting this information to say we're only £150 million in debt when we're almost twice that much in debt? Almost. We are £70 million away from £300 million loss. I'm sorry, no, it's bullshit. It's bollocks. As I say, I understand the reasons why he's saying that is because because when he wants to sell the club, he's going to put people off by asking for the amount of money that it is, so that all the debt is cleared. They take their cut in a couple of years' time. Blah blah blah. We all know what's going on. But this is the real thing about it. Okay, guys, it genuinely is. There is more bullshit coming out of the club than there is on social media, and I thought I would never ever say that. There is more lies than ever coming out of the club than there is on social media. There really is. People, we need to wake up and understand and get back to properly supporting Hammers United to ensure that our voice is heard. Now, I wasn't there on Sunday for the protest. I wasn't able to get there in time. But so this doubles up the fact of why I'm doing this video. They need their support. We need your support. We need you to come and voice your opinions on why you don't want David Gold, David Sullivan and Karen Brady to be in charge of the club. If you want Gold and Sullivan in, fine. Haven't got an issue with that. Everybody's got their own opinion. But guys, we seriously need to try and help this cause as much as possible. Because let's face it, I know it's better the devil you know, and in this circumstance, that's exactly what it should be. But we need to make sure that we voice our opinions, because basically, guys, after every single decent protest march that's happened, things have changed. Slowly, but things change. They really did change. I'm not saying, we're going to be able to go out and buy a 23-year-old Sergio Aguero or a 19-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo. It's just, that's not West Ham. But we have never been an ambitious club. Never have been. And I want us to be ambitious, but I don't want us to be too ambitious. I don't want us to try and go over the line and try and do what we did with Pellegrini and run before we could walk, But guys, let me know your thoughts on this as well. I really do genuinely hope that you've lasted to this length because at the end of the day, guys, the average viewing times are 3 minutes. Come on, you guys don't have that less time to view. You can watch these videos. I know you can. If you can watch Friday Night Pints with Nicky and all the great conversations that those guys are having, you can watch this 15-minute video. It's not hard. So if you are liking what I'm doing, then by all means, please do hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Put your comments in the comment section below, and of course, give me your thoughts in the comment section. And also, please do like as well if you've enjoyed it, and please do share this content with anybody else that you feel may want to watch it. So in the meantime, guys, we have had 2 more subscribers over the last few days. Thank you very much. It's very, very nice of you to do so. We are 54 away from that magic 2000. So hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you very soon. All the best.